Hey everyone, Keegan here, and I want to talk about my favorite series from 2021, Arcane. Now, specifically, I want to talk about speculation and what I think is going to be happening in Season 2, and if that wasn't a clue enough that there's spoilers ahead, this is me explicitly stating spoilers ahead. Now, I've got a lot of questions from Season 1 that I'm excited to finally see answered in Season 2, and I've got a lot of questions of what I think's going to be happening, so let's just hop right into it. First things first, I want the music in Season 2 to be as exceptional as it was in Season 1. I mean, I've never witnessed a show match the music to the scenes in a more perfect fashion than Arcane did in Season 1. And I know a lot of that is to do with the developers actually writing the music for the specific scenes, and I thought it was brilliant. I hope they continue on that track, and I think they will because the directors seem like music is an important part of how they're telling their story. Next, what happened to the council? Did they all die? I'm sure some of them survived, and of the ones that survived, do you think that they are all gung-ho pro-war now? I could actually see it still being a split decision, where some of the shady ones that do shady business in the Undercity might not want to disrupt that business with an all-out war, but ultimately I do think they're going to go to war. Did Mel die? I don't think so, because you saw her necklace glowing, and I think that's a pretty clear indicator that she was being warned about an attack on her and the council at that time, so she probably had some times to do some protective measures. But I could see that if she died, that'd be a catalyst for Jace and getting him just all into the war scene. Do you think the Upper City is now going to ally with Mel's war-crazed family? I don't really see a situation in which the Undercity could ever rise up if the Upper City plus Mel's family all rain down on the Undercity, because the Undercity doesn't really have an army, I don't think. It's just a bunch of normal people. Though I guess really that would be a scenario where you have all your champions now arising, and they're going to even the battlefield a little bit because they have special abilities that the Upper City and even the Mel's War family is not prepared to deal with. Maybe a little bit of guerrilla fighting. I've played a bit of League, but not a ton of it, so I don't know a lot about the champions, but I definitely think a lot are going to be popping up in Season 2. At least a handful more are going to be introducing themselves, so I'm curious who you guys think will be showing up in Season 2. What's Jinx's plan now in Season 2 going to be? I feel like ultimately she fulfilled her one goal that she had at the end of Season 1, where she was taking out the council and really defining herself as Jinx. So I think she's going to need to find a new purpose now. Will Vi and Jinx finally get along in Season 2 and have a happy reunion? I think not. But I do think that Vi will now see her little sister in a completely different light, and they're going to have to do some soul searching to really kind of connect again, if they ever connect again at all. Speaking of Vi, will Season 2 finally have the official Vi and Caitlyn? You could say Violin? Caitlyn? I don't know, maybe we'll work on that name. I am going to miss the relationship that Vi had with Sevka, because I thought that was super fun, and actually, is Sevka dead? Did they explicitly say that? I'm not 100% sure if she's actually officially dead. She was definitely defeated. I just can't remember if Vi killed her or not. Is Echo finally going to develop his signature machine? Or maybe just a prototype now that he's working with Heimerdinger? I could see that being a very real possibility. And is Heimerdinger finally going to invent some weapons himself to go on the offensive? He's been pretty passive so far, and I kind of hope that this is the season where Heimerdinger really reemerges and redefines himself and how he's going to be acting through the whole next season. I could see Echo not wanting to use his refugees in the battle as much now, because they kind of showed that these people had families, and you saw Echo feel bad for him. So I could see him being like, you know what, I'm going to take more responsibility on myself, go out and do crazy things, and I'm going to let my family just live and my friends live in this paradise. But speaking of that paradise, that thing is ripe for it to be completely destroyed, and an emotional devastation apple being taken next season. Jace, buddy, pal, I'm just waiting for that moral compass to snap, because I think that it's good that the show has a character that we can kind of relate to as someone that's always trying to do the right thing. But dude, you're not living in the Marvel universe here. Sometimes you're going to have to take action that is swift, harsh, and doesn't look too pretty on the outside. I know you don't want to cross that line, but your world's pretty messed up. I think at some point that might be what you have to do. Though that being said, again, if Mel dies, I think he's going to take that step on his own, and he's going to go way off the deep end. I'm ready for Victor to stop being so sick. I mean, to be fair, I guess Victor is also waiting for himself to stop being so sick. But I feel like he's got enough of the mix of mutation and hex tech inside of him that he's probably got some pretty sweet abilities at this point, and I'm waiting for him to come out and really display those abilities, because I feel like we had so much build up for Victor in season 1. I'm really excited to see what he can now actually do in season 2. And what the F is the mutation? And what is it a mutation of? I'm guessing we're going to get a lot more into that in season 2, because I think Singe is probably going to take an even more front and center role, where you can see a little bit more about his experiments and what he's doing, especially now that he's working with Victor. So they're going to have that a completely different dynamic than Victor had when he was working with Jace. And will season 2 take place all in Piltover still, or are we going to get outside of that? Are we going to go to different continents, maybe even different worlds, using hex technology to make portals and things like that, see different species come through portals? I don't know. I could see them going a little bigger in universe-wise. Now, off the top of my head, that was pretty much all the questions and speculation I had going into season 2, but I'm really curious, what does the community think? What do you think will be the main topic in season 2? Where do you think these characters are going to be? Which new characters are going to be introduced? Are we staying in Piltover? Are we leaving? Are we gaining allies? What's happening here? I would really like to hear what you guys think. So for now, this is Keegan signing off. I'll catch you guys in the next video.